Hey guys, welcome back to Goose Adventures. I am so glad you're here. Happy Saturday, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed the 4th of July. If that's something you celebrate, if you're here in America, I hope you had a wonderful, safe holiday. All right, so today I'm getting into the magic of meal prep. That's right, I've talked a lot about my adventure because I'm no longer calling it a journey to lose 140 pounds. I did that without medicine and without any kind of surgery or anything like that to help the weight loss. And it's been a long, slow process, but I've done it and I'm detailing how I did it, what steps I took. And I want to remind you all, I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a nutritionist. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking meal prep and things that work for me. I'll even give you some suggestions on some meal prep ideas. But again, I'm not a nutritionist. So you have to figure out what works for you, talk to your doctor, do some research before you jump into these things to make sure you do it the safe and correct way. I'm just here to tell you what I've been through and how I lost my weight and what I did to achieve this. So I'm today talking about meal prep. Now, the reason that I thought I'd talk about this is one, a lot of you guys had asked that I talk about something like this. So, yay, bring on the suggestions like that. Thank you for that. And two, I think it really does help. It's something that I took on a little later. I've been very vocal. I don't like to cook. So it's something that I've taken on more recently to try to help things. But I found out so many interesting statistics about meal prepping. I thought we should definitely talk about it. And then, like I say, I'll go into some suggestions on meal prep ideas. And I welcome your feedback in the comments as well. If there's something that you think will help the group or something you like to make or meal prep, let us know because this is a great place to share. Share what works for you, share what didn't work for you, share if there's a great recipe that you have or a suggestion or anything like that. And again, thank you so much for being here. But as I was saying, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a nurse, I'm not in the medical field. I'm just somebody who's been through this lived experience. And so that's what I'm talking about today. So I want to talk about some key statistics on meal prepping. So I pulled some, I'm going to be looking down at them and I'll tell you where I got these from. But one of the things that I personally have found, and a statistic I found that backed it up, is you can actually reduce unplanned snacking, and it supports your weight loss journey if that's something you're trying to achieve. So meal planning reduces unplanned snacking by 25%. Now, this is according to a study in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition. So it's according to the study, it says that it reduces unplanned snacking by 25%, which aids to your weight loss goals if that's something you're trying to achieve. So prepping meals means no more grabbing chips, something I used to do. Uh, saving you those calories, right? So even saving like 200 calories a day, if you think about it like this, you can actually lose up to 20 pounds a year by saving 200 calories a day. I get really into numbers and statistics like that. So when I learned that, I was like, because on a day-to-day basis, you might think, oh, what's 200 calories? It's fine. But if you think about it like that, that's interesting. I think that's pretty interesting. It improves your diet quality. That's another reason that meal prepping, I think, can be really helpful for some. Meal prepping and planning, it's linked to a higher quality diet, including 20% greater adherence to nutritional guidelines and increased food variety. And again, this is a study that they found on Nutrinet. And they had about 41,000 participants do this, and that's what they found. I thought that was interesting. Now, it can also lower your risk of chronic diseases, something to think about. And the thought there is that home cooked meals, which is facilitated by meal prep, they're linked to a significantly lower risk of type 2 diabetes, also linked to hypertension, reduced risk of hypertension and I don't know how to pronounce that. Dyslipidemia? I hadn't heard of that one. Per multiple studies cited in Wikipedia 2020 Consumer Expenditures Report. So prepping your meals is like giving your body a shield against these health issues, helping you feel strong and vibrant. Something I'm looking to do, is something I can always improve on as well. Now, this is something that hits home, not just the health stuff, but I think this affects a lot of us. It saves time and money by doing this. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm always looking to save both. Meal prepping, they've estimated, saves about an hour per meal, equating to 14 hours a week for 2 meals a day. So spending on food at home increased 6.4% between the years 2019 and 2020. And then eating out dropped 32%, saving the average consumer about $1,151 annually. So there was a consumer report that looked into this. So this can actually save you a lot of money. And the thing I would say is, for me, what works is like batch prepping on like Sunday will save me. Yes, I hate doing it in the moment, but it saves me time during the week and it saves me money. I don't know about you, but I always want to do these. It'll let me, the time I use on that, I've actually been investing more in my workouts. Before, I never felt like I had time to do that. But the time I'm saving, I've been putting into that and getting my steps goal. And speaking of which, if you did the steps this week, let me know how it went. I'll be totally honest with you. I did do the steps last week. I crushed the goal this week. I've crushed it some of the days, and some days I'm like, my goal is 10,000 steps. I think my goal is to do 5 days at 10,000 steps. I have 3 days of over 10,000 steps and 2 days at 8,000. So I wish I could say I hit the goal. There's just some days it's a struggle, right? But I'm doing the best I can. And I could get really mad at myself and say, Jen, what's your problem? You're close. You got to do better. No, I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to do better next week. I'm going to see if I can go a little past the 10 to almost like earn back those steps that I missed. So I think the key there is just being honest with yourself and saying, hey, listen, it's okay if I didn't hit it. If I'm in the ballpark, I'm proud of myself and I'll just push it a little harder next time. So there's that. But let me know how you did. Did you hit your goal? I want to hear about that. I love hearing from you guys in the comments. I really do. And just so you know, make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave me comments, because all those things does help YouTube to recommend my video. And I want more people to find this channel and to chime in with their helpful tips as well. Okay, so again, going back to the meal prepping and why the statistics I found on what it can do. So according to a study, it was a Canadian study in 2021, they figured out that spending more time on meal prep is associated with improved mental health, and it actually can be found to lower stress levels. How about that? That's something I'm always very open about. Is I deal with severe anxiety. It's just something, it's a blessing and a curse. I know a lot of you guys have expressed dealing with similar things in the comments, and I'm sending big goosey hugs to anybody that deals with that. It's tough. But according to a study, it can actually help with your mental health and lowering stress. So I think that's fantastic. I don't know about you, but again, winning back time, saving money, and helping stress are all things that sound good to me, right? Again, I'm trying to take the time, and this might be a very American, people talk about how Americans are always like, go, 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 and goal oriented and all this. So it might be a very American approach, but I think, okay, the time I've saved, I want to invest back in myself, and I'm going to use it to work out, because I sometimes find myself saying, crap, I have to, take care of my kid, and I'm doing this, and I have to clean my house, and I have to work on my videos and all this. When am I going to work out? But I'm trying to use that time to find ways to spend time with the gosling and get a workout at the same time. So I personally like to spend my time like that. I want to say, it increases, it increases your home cooking frequency. I think that goes without saying, because 70% of Americans prepare 80% of their meals at home per a 2020 research report, a jump from 30% in 2019. Now, they believe that that was to do with what was going on in the world in 2020, but I find that interesting. So if you're interested, join the rest of us cooking at home. There's nothing wrong with eating out once in a while, but I think the point is to focus mostly, just like everything else, there's a balance. Focus mostly on eating at home, cooking at home. I hate cooking too. It's an adjustment, but meal prepping, and then that way you have your meals ready to go. And it kind of takes down, for me at least, the stress of I'm starving. What am I going to eat? Oh my gosh, I'm just going to grab whatever. Like, I'm less likely to eat fast food or grab a handful of junk if I have a meal prepped and ready to go. So those are things that I thought, those are statistics that I pulled that hopefully will help you in making the decision. And again, it's up to you. Now, I've pulled some easy meal prep ideas, but this is where I really do want you to chime in the comments and tell me, what are your meal prep secrets? My big one that I talked about before is for me, I don't do well when I have too many choices on food. So I am one to eat the same things over and over. And one of the things I eat a lot of is chicken. It just works for me. Good protein, low calorie, healthy for me. So that's why I do that. And one of the ways I do that is I cook a bunch of it in my slow cooker at the beginning of the week. So that way I can, like, I'll cook it in just what's that, bone broth and stuff. So that way it has the juicy flavor, but I'm not adding a bunch of crap to it. And then I can add it to a bunch of different dishes or just pull it apart and use it as like a protein snack if I need to, whatever. So that's a secret that works for me. That way I have a lot of healthy protein ready to go. But here's some easy meal prep ideas I found online, and I want you to chime in with yours. So one of the things they recommended is use popcorn as a not a meal replacement, but a snack replacement. So look to replace your snacks. If you're one to grab the chips, maybe try to avoid those or find a healthier alternative, such as popcorn. Also look at veggie packs or veggie sticks or things like that. Now, for me, hummus is a great alternative of something healthy that you can dip it into. There's also like tzatziki. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I like to dip into that. There's a Mediterranean place that I really like that has this, they use Greek yogurt and they make a yogurt dill sauce. So I like to dip vegetables into that. I find that delicious. So maybe look for a yogurt dill sauce if you're into dill. There's just healthy alternatives out there of things to dip your veggies and your snacks into, instead of going for the full calorie things. And listen, there's nothing wrong with the full calorie things once in a while. I just think, again, if you're looking to maybe save calories in a spot, that might be a way to do it. I never recommend cutting out any, just because I eat weird doesn't mean you should eat weird, meaning don't cut out anything. If there's something you enjoyed, I don't want you to feel deprived. Just maybe look at the portion and look at an alternative way to do it. I would love to eat just the restaurant. I'm a snob about ranch, but I love ranch from a restaurant when it's fresh made and it's so good. But I've said before, instead of globbing it all over my salad, what I do is I just keep a little cup of it and then I just dip bites into it. That's a trick I learned forever ago because you use so much less dressing that way and you save yourself the calories, but you still get that taste in most bites. So I enjoy doing that. But yeah, so a swap, like I say, if you replace your high calorie, like chips, for instance, they're estimating those are about 500 calories a bag. You switch it for air pop popcorn, they estimate that that's about 100 calories a cup. Now, not all popcorn is created equal. You have to do your homework on that, but it's just an idea. Again, if you do veggies with hummus and if you prep that, that will help cut your unplanned snacking. That's a snack ready to go for you. And they estimate in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition that by prepping like that, you'll actually cut down on unplanned snacking by 25%. And again, when you start thinking about numbers and how much that could save you in terms of calories, money, time, all that stuff, that adds up, right? let's see what else. So another recommended prep would be like citrus infused water jars. I don't know about you, but hydration I think is very important. And so where I've cut it, I still drink one a day, but I've cut back on my Coke Zeros. So it's important. Well, it's important to stay hydrated either way. I don't think Coke Zeros are hydrating, but you get the idea. It was important for me to find interesting things to drink. I drink a lot of water, but I get bored with just plain water. So doing citrus infused water jars, it's and swapping it out for soda. So if you do, let's say you drink a full-fledged soda, those suckers can be at least around 150 calories a can. And so by doing that, it says supporting the stat that cutting one sugary drink daily can lead to 15 pounds lost annually. Now, that's according to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. So, just by doing that, you can drop 15 pounds in a year. Heck yeah. Hydration boosts energy and it boosts your skin. You're glowing. I love that. And it helps you feel vibrant. It so again, I've been very open about mental health struggles and anxiety things that I deal with, and that's something else that's important. If you're on anti-anxiety meds, they found that staying super hydrated helps those meds actually be more effective from what I remember. I'm not a doctor, but it's something like that. So that's to me, it's even more important to stay hydrated. So something you could do. You can, of course, hydrate with natural flavors if you just pick some fruits to stick in there. I think that's fantastic. You can do lemon, orange, cucumber, whatever you're into. I think those are great. You can even, dare I say, elevate it with a little mint if you know, you know. But things like that just kind of pep me up. I like cucumber in my water personally, and I also like citrus fruits like that in my water. A little lemon water. Heck yeah, I love limes. Why not? What's your favorite water infused combo? Leave those in the comments as well. Maybe we can get ideas from each other. So another prep that was suggested, this is one that I could get on board with. I haven't actually done this one, but I think it's interesting, is they're recommending that you swap white carbs for more whole grains. So their suggestion was to take quinoa and make a quinoa bowl. So replacing white rice with quinoa, it increases your fullness feeling by 20%. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I think that's interesting. So it reduces overeating. That's according to the Journal of Nutrition. High fiber, nutrient dense bowls support the 20% diet quality boost from meal planning. So, a way to do this, they recommended taking a cup of quinoa, 2 cups of broccoli, 1 cup of cherry tomatoes, some chickpeas, 4 tablespoons of olive oil vinaigrette. You cook the quinoa and you steam or roast the broccoli. You have the tomatoes. You mix it all together with the chickpeas and you drizzle the vinaigrette over it, and then you can store into little containers as a snack or as a meal, and you can refrigerate those for up to 4 days. So they thought per serving that's going to get you about 300 calories, but you get 10 grams of fiber, which is great, and 12 grams of protein. So they can keep you fuller longer, like for hours, they said, unlike that white rice feeling where I don't know about you, but I get hungry after eating that. It's that weird trick where it makes you hungry after eating it sometimes. So this will keep you fuller longer. I love that. So I'll be trying this recipe. I thought that sounded good. Now, this is one that I like to do as well. It's Greek yogurt parfait jars. You can swap these out for a protein-packed breakfast as an idea. So swapping a sugary cereal, which can run you about 400 calories, depending on your serving size, for a high protein yogurt, that's about 200 calories, again, depending on serving size, it can reduce your hunger hormones by 15%. Now, that is according to the Obesity Journal. It supports weight loss and energy for a better start to your day. So I like to eat a little heavier at breakfast and then go later during the day. I've talked openly, I don't like breakfast food, it's just not for me. So, I'm one that I'll sit there and eat a salad or some broccoli for breakfast, which sounds weird. Like, I've had steak and broccoli for breakfast because I'd rather eat a little more food and a little heavier. It just works for me in the beginning of the day and then just get lighter as the day goes on. But you gotta find what works for you, and this is a great option. I would be more likely to eat this later in the day as the Greek yogurt is a little bit lighter for me. And that sounds like a great way to end it. That sounds like a dessert to me. That sounds delicious. But they recommended 2 cups of plain Greek yogurt, 1 cup mixed berries. You could do fresh or frozen on that, as well as a half cup of granola. Look for something low sugar if you can, and then add in something like chia seeds for a little. Again, I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a doctor. If it works for you, add in something like that. I find that I like the nutrient boost that it gives me where I am not eating a ton of different varieties of food because I just personally can't do it. I like to find things to add to my meals to add the nutrients that I might be missing elsewhere. People ask me, do I count my calories? I know it's important for some people. I personally, at the beginning, I did. I don't so much anymore. It's more about knowing what healthy foods I'm eating, and I'm much better at paying attention to my body and telling when I've had enough. So when I've had enough, I'm done. So I don't really count. It depends on what it is. If it's something like decadent, sure, I'll look and be like, "Oh gosh, a couple of bites and I need to back off." But if I stick to healthier meals, no, I don't because I pay more attention to how I'm feeling. I find that that works better for me. Am I full? Do I actually need to eat a little bit more? And there are days, I've said it before, there are days where our bodies they need a little more. So you might need to eat a little bit more and that's okay. Don't get mad at yourself about that. Just pay attention, I would say. I mean, again, as a woman, we have cycles and there are times where we feel cravings and we feel like we might need a little more. We might feel a little tired and like need that extra boost. So you just have to do what works for you and figure that out. But for me personally, no, I don't count calories. It's more about it depends on what I'm eating. If I'm eating junk, then yes, I do look at calories. But if I'm eating the way I like to eat or I've been trying to eat most of the time, then no, I don't because I know I'm eating healthy food. So I know I'm going to be in the right range for me. So I can tell if I have not eaten enough or if I've overdone it. And I try to stay in between those where I feel full and I feel happy, but I don't overdo it because I used to always overdo it. And I feel like for a long time, I lost my connection with myself about how I was feeling. Like, oh man, I would feel terrible. And I wouldn't even I thought I was just feeling the guilt of eating so much crap, but I actually physically did not feel good. Now I feel great. So, another reason to eat healthy, I think. It's more motivation for me to eat healthy is to continue to feel great. So, another recommended swap was instead of batch prepping veggies, which can be boring, try try a roasted veggie tray. You want to get as many veggies as you can. Obviously, they're healthy for you. They boost your fiber intake, which is great. It reduces your overall calories when you do that, according to nutrition reviews. And it can cut your fast food reliance, which is great, right? Um, so you can use it for snacks, you can use it for meals, but doing a roasted veggie tray is a great way to do that. So what they recommended is take like 2 cups, and I would say pick your favorite veggies because not everybody likes every veggie, but they recommended 2 cups of sweet potato cubes, 2 cups of broccoli, 1 cup of zucchini. I love zucchini. I've been wanting zucchini bread. I need to find maybe a healthy recipe for zucchini bread, or even better, if I can just buy some zucchini bread without a bunch of sugar, I would love that. So they recommend 1 cup zucchini slices, 2 tablespoons olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I love to season things with garlic. It's good for me, and I love the way it tastes. And then you can roast those at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius. Toss them with the oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder. Spread on a baking sheet. You roast them for 20 minutes. They said about halfway through, you're going to want to flip those things. You can divide them into 4 containers. And do you know how much calories you're looking at per serving on that? 150. So that's great. That's fantastic. You're getting your fiber, you're getting your protein. And again, roasting these things, my Sunday meal prep by roasting those and going ahead and sectioning them out. When I'm starving and I don't know what to eat, I can take some of that chicken I've done. I can take some of those roasted veggies, and there you go. It's I'm telling, like, it sounds like a lot of work, and it will be on the day that you're doing it, but for the rest of the week, you're not. It's ready to go. So that's just something to think about. And again, this won't work for everybody, but I do think with the research and the statistics, I think it's a good idea. And if it's something you're interested in trying, this might be a way to start. But again, this is where I encourage you to speak up in the comments. Tell me if this is something that you do. Tell me if this is something that works for you. Tell me if you have a fantastic recipe I need to know about. Tell me if you have a low sugar zucchini bread recipe that I need to know about. Tell me everything. I'm really looking for feedback on this. Tell me how your steps went this week. I'd like to know that. And then I'm asking you for a lot of stuff. Tell me another topic. If there's a topic you specifically would like to see me cover, let me know. I keep thinking about food swaps. I kind of got into a little bit in this one, but a lot of you have asked me for food swaps ideas. I can definitely go to that. What do I eat in a day? I've kind of covered that, but if you want really specific, I can do that if that will help. What else? I've really stepped up my workouts. I've been doing, I never thought I would be this person, but I've been doing 90 minutes to 2 hours, 6 days a week of working out. And it's not that I have all this time on my hands. I just tried to prioritize working out and making time. I find ways to incorporate Gosling time with workout time because Gosling's always the most important. So if she and I are doing something, I'm trying to make it physical because it's good for her and it's good for me. And so I find that I get my steps that way. I'm getting my workout that way, and I feel better and I have fun with my Gosling. So win, 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 however many wins that is. So I would encourage you to look for things like that. Figure out what's important to you. If it's your fur babies, if it's your human babies, if it's, being outside watering your plants, maybe like walking back and forth don't fill your water pitcher all the way up. Just like add a little water, walk, water, go back, things like that. It sounds silly, but the thing I've been doing lately, I used to carry in as many groceries as I could in one because I hate going back and forth to the car. Now I just take like 1 or 2 bags at a time. It takes me a ton of trips, but I get so many extra steps that way. Like, it's just stuff like that. I park a little further as long as I feel safe at the grocery store. I park a little further and then I walk, that kind of thing. And I find that I get extra steps. So it's just tricks like that. And I'm happy to talk about anything like that. So let me know if there's a topic you want to hear about. As always, thank you guys so much for being here, for all your lovely, kind, wonderful words and suggestions. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate you all so much. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. I hope you had the best day. And I just want to say, I'm so blown away by you all. I really am. By your commitment to this. I've had so many of you say you've started your own journey and you're already down some pounds. That's wonderful. You guys continue to amaze me. You really do. And I'm so thankful for you. I truly am. Thank you for everything. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Have the best day. Bye-bye.